Hey tubers, well it's a beautiful afternoon here in poor redneck world, and I'm going to take the opportunity of the good weather before any more rain moves in this week to make a video or two. And I'm going to take the opportunity in this video briefly to talk a little bit about tow dollies, specifically what not to do with them or how not to use them. So this tow dolly belongs currently to my friend and myself. We went in on this tow dolly, at least 5 years ago, and we traded a little not a little, we traded about a 10-foot flatbed trailer plus cash for this tow dolly a few years back, and since that time, we've used this dolly quite a lot. In fact, I think I can honestly say in terms of tools, this has probably been one of the best tool investments that he and I have ever made, really, aside from my tool set. But this has gotten quite a lot of use out of it. We've hauled countless vehicles. We've rescued him when he's broke down, rescued I when I broke down, his dad, and just about everybody under the sun. And this has been a pretty good old rig. Well, at least up until a couple weeks back. So I don't really remember if any of my videos has this. Yeah, there's a couple of my videos that has this dolly on it from a while back, but anyway, everything on this dolly for the most part is as it has been, original equipment since the day we bought it, with two exceptions. And biggest exception is that which I wanted to discuss in topic wise for this video. When you use a tow dolly, and I better make this quick because my battery's failing, they are rated at so much weight to be able to haul. And that's because there are certain parts, specifically the tongue, that are made out of certain thicknesses of metal and are rated to handle a certain amount of weight. You got to understand, when you're hauling a car or a truck, something heavy, whenever you hit the brakes, if this is not equipped with electric brakes, which I actually think it is, but they've never worked, they've never been wired, and we've never tore into them to do anything. So when you step on the brakes, this whole carriage wants to kind of lean that way, and that causes torsional force on the tongue, and that could be very straining. So a while back, my friend and his dad, there's my phone telling me I got a missed call. A while back, my friend and his dad decided they was going to go buy a early 80s Chevrolet based dump truck off of Craigslist. It ran, but not well enough to drive. So they loaded it on the tow dolly. Now, the problem here is this. This tow dolly, as it was sitting originally, was rated for probably around 3,000 pounds or so. It's not an exceptionally huge tow dolly. It's not rated to haul exceptionally huge loads. 3,000, I've gone up a little more than that. I think about 4,500 or so pounds is the most I've ever hauled on this particular tow dolly with the original tongue. Well, the truck that they tried to haul weighed in right around 8,000 pounds. And when you try to put 8,000 pounds of load on a tow dolly that's rated for 5,000 pounds less, something not good is going to happen. And I'm going to show you what happened that was not good. What happened is that happened. This is the original tongue, or at least what's left of it. As you can see, this is the portion of the tongue that would attach to the tow dolly itself, and this is the rest of it. Well, anyway, yeah, this happened while they were in Farmington, Arkansas, on the highway, coming to a stoplight. And what was happening is all that 8,000 pounds of weight was pushing on this tongue, trying to make it flex, trying to do this business. It was torsioning the tongue. And, what happens when you take a piece of metal or steel and you flex it back and forth repetitively over and over again. And as you can see, there's been welding going on here before. This tongue has actually been damaged once in the past, and we took it to my favorite privately owned salvage yard and kind of twisted it back, and they put some reinforcement steel over it and welded it all up. We used it, there goes a four-wheel drive. We used it like that for years without issue, because I never was foolish enough to try to put something exceptionally heavy on it. But they tried to load an 8,000-pound dump truck, Chevrolet-based dump truck on this, and you know, it worked fine for a few miles, and then when they got into Farmington, the tongue just gave up and said, that's it, I'm done. So hopefully my battery holds up a little bit longer. I'm going to show you the thickness. I'll use the good side here. Okay, so that's the thickness of the metal of the tongue. And this tongue was rated 3,000 pounds-ish, something like that. Well, the tongue that is on there now is nearly 3 times as thick, so it's going to be able to hold substantially more weight, and it's never been patchwork together. Again, this was due to, I think he was trying to back up the tow dolly with something also pretty heavy on it, which is another no-no for tow dollies. Never try to back up a tow dolly. They're not designed to back up. They are designed to haul forward. So, anyway, this is a really good example of what not to do with a tow dolly. If it's rated at 4,000 pounds, you know, you probably got a little leeway. Again, this tow dolly is supposed to, I believe, have the electric actuated brakes, which are non-functional. The wiring is gone, and we've used it just fine without it. You know, just use a little common sense. They did manage to get the tow dolly home. They kind of crammed one end of this into the other, and I guess chained it together just to get it home without the truck on it. Had to pay our friend from my favorite privately owned salvage yard to bring his wrecker out and haul the dump truck in for him. But anyway, yeah, wasn't a very good idea. So in the end, we've got a new tongue, which we had to have custom made for the tow dolly, and we bought a new hitch for the front end, and the only thing really that's left is to fix some wiring issues for the lights. But I don't know if I'm going to bother doing that, because we've recently acquired a car trailer, and that's something really that we've been wanting for quite a long time. And we're going to sell this tow dolly. In fact, I'm planning on putting this tow dolly possibly on Craigslist here in the next week. Maybe fix the wiring, get the lights working again, which they are good lights, but the wiring is always getting chewed up, low-lying or high-rise rocks, going over berms. But anyway, just a brief commentary video on what not to do with a front-wheel tow dolly. If it's rated for 5,000 pounds, you probably shouldn't put much more than that on it. If it's rated for 8,000 pounds, put up to that on it. You can, however, of course, have these things built to exceed the original limitations of the weight rating, but you know, for that amount of money you can buy one rated to handle that kind of load. So anyway, my battery is about to go, so just wanted to make this brief video on what not to do with a tow dolly. Thanks for watching. And there's a lot of traffic out today. Always noisy living right on the highway. Alright, thanks for watching. Comments welcome.